I'm David Crump from the University of Houston Law Center. I was both a trial lawyer back when we tried cases and an appellate lawyer. The case book is Cases and Materials on Civil Procedure, and it's one of the more difficult courses in the entire curriculum, of course. The co-authors that I've worked with are Bill Dorsanio from SMU, Rex Perschbacher, former dean at University of California, Davis, and Debbie Bassett from Southwestern. Cases and Materials on Civil Procedure is mostly traditional. It uses the court opinion method that we find in almost all case books. 80%, I suspect, of the book is that way. We also have two other aspects to it that are important. One of them is that today we're trying to produce practice-ready lawyers as closely as we can. We have a lot of practice materials. We want to show how it actually looks when it gets there. For example, the chapter on forum contests ends with a forum contest that has all of the papers and events from the initial negotiations to try to resolve the case all the way through the actual settlement of the case after the complaint, the discovery, and the forum contest. So that's one aspect of the book that's a major focus. We want to show how it actually turns out. I think that when you see how it actually turns out, that changes your view of the cases. The other thing that we do that I think is unusual is that we have, for each chapter, a think about the system part. That is to say, we ask the student to consider a number of proposals for change in the system and decide what effect they would have, whether they're a good idea or not. And I should add, there's a chapter summary problem for each chapter. At the beginning of the chapter, you read the chapter summary problem. You don't try to answer it until you get to the end, but it puts together the entire chapter in the manner of a law school examination. It has a number, in other words, of factors that engage the student, make the student wrestle with the material in different ways than the court opinion method, although that's the focus of most of it. I think we tend in law school to leave off two ends of the spectrum. One of them is where the rubber meets the road. That is what actually happens. How does this actually look when you get to the practice of it? And we have a much bigger aspect of our book that's about that. Today, and maybe we were before our time, but we have always had a focus on trying to prepare practice-ready lawyers. The other end of the spectrum, which paradoxically I don't think we adequately cover, is how to think about these things. And every chapter, most chapters at least, have sections at the end of each of them that forces the student to think in a broader context. Is this the right way for it to be? We have the World's Champion Teacher's Manual. I don't want the professor to have to work and reinvent the wheel on useless kinds of exercises, such as what are the details of this particular case. And so we have every case briefed, including what the case is about, the factual aspects of the case. And for every case, we have a set of suggested questions that shows where we're trying to go. Not that you have to follow those questions. I often don't myself, but it shows you how to put the case together with what you're trying to get out of it for the students. So we have every case briefed and every problem briefed. With the latest edition, we have the teacher's manual following that. We have I think, a very, very good supplement. It will have all of the new cases that we think since the main edition, and in addition, it has rules, statutes, and other materials that you need for this important class. On behalf of Bill, Rex, and Debbie, this is a book that we're all extremely proud of. We think it's the book that a professor would use to prepare students to be practice ready when they come out of law school. And also, it's a book that really teaches students how to think.